Since the Black American want to go to war, let's try, let's see. All of us, let's call out one day from work. All of us across the United States. All immigrants call out from work. Yes. If they want to go to war, let's see what they can prove. And also, all immigrants, like your businesses from all Black Americans. Simple as that. Don't let them go into your grocery store. Don't let them go into your restaurant. Don't let them go into your salon. You want to go to war? We will. And also, we can ask all our African doctors, boycott all Black American treatment. Like I said, you don't want to go to war with African.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So an African nurse in the US got online and basically said she and other African doctors should stop treating Black Americans, all because of an online boycott. That's well. It went from a business disagreement to threatening people's life over a TikTok debate. We need to talk about this because once you bring healthcare into online drama, it's no longer just talk. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Now let's get into the video.
I'll say this, she talking about if we want war, bro. We don't want war with y'all. We just want to focus on ourselves. I apologize for the FBA that's disrespecting y'all, talking about, shape of your head or your country don't have no water. I apologize. I don't support that. Right? See, that's me taking accountability. But Black people don't want no war. But y'all know, and I'm not necessarily proud of this, right? But y'all know how Black people get down when Black people do war. Y'all know that, right? And the difference between Black people and Africans is that Black people, especially on a street level, have been warring with other groups of people in the U.S. that are not Black. We've been doing that since we came to this country. And the thing is, if something was to pop off based off, right, a lot of you Africans from Africa would run back to your country. You would pray, right, and run back to your country. That's just the truth. Not only do you have all the Black gangs, the Bloods, the Crips, the GDs, the VDs, the Vice Lords, and all that kind of stuff going on, but you have Black militias in the South that's ready for something to pop off, while y'all are not equipped to deal with a situation here if it was to pop off. We even have a lot of Black people who are in the military who got a whole bunch of stockpiles of pews ready. See, we all, FBA, we already have in our mind that eventually something's gonna pop off and we ready. But no matter how much money I make, no matter what I do, how many degrees I get, I already know in the back of my head something could pop off, right? We are well equipped for war here more than any group of Black people. Other black groups that come here, they just want to work hard, get an education, and kind of just fit in and do what they got to do. We understand that it could all be taken away from us, so we always got to be prepared.
Now, do you remember this idiot got online with her whole chest telling Africans, Caribbeans, and whoever was listening to try to counterattack what we said we're doing, and had the nerves to tell or suggest that African doctors working in our country would stop treating Black Americans? That is a whole crime. We could have brought the whole medical industry down to their knees if they were stupid enough to listen to this child. So now she got the Freeman, what are they called? The Freeman Nation. I think I heard about them some time ago. I think they're like rebooting the Freedmen Bureau that was erected after slavery. And it really, well, it was a good idea, but they ended up, a lot of people that was running it, white folks, ended up literally stealing millions of dollars from freed men and women. Yeah, do some research, check that out. Or I might do a video on it. But anyway, The American Freedmen Legal Fund jumped in on that ass. I told y'all need to start writing these checks that your ass can't cash. They said, we have received all her work information. We are moving forward. We now have full documentation and her employment and professional affiliations. Because of her actions, Freedmen patients are being placed at risk. This is not only unethical, it is a direct threat to our community's health and safety. Let this be clear. If you choose to attack freedmen while serving in institutions that operate within the U.S., understand that you are accountable under the very systems you work for, idiot. Do not call for war. They didn't say that. I said that. Do not call for war while collecting paychecks under the protections of this country. You cannot work in public service and harm the public. We are moving forward with a formal complaint. Every policy, every license, every oath, we will hold you to it. Support the American Freedmen Legal Fund with a donation. And they are on Twitter. I'll post their link in the description of the short. Yeah, these people, you got to think about it. What happened when these people came in this country and got on a high horse or got on something and thought they was actually running things? I really do believe they thought Hispanics, Asians, Africans, Indians, they really thought. I don't know what these white racists told them, but they believed it. Now they getting a cold reality check.
Publicly suggests that African doctors should refuse treatment to Black Americans because of a boycott. It's not just a reckless comment. It's a betrayal of both morality and professional duty. To even entertain the idea of withholding health care as retaliation is ethically bankrupt. Medicine is not a tool for vengeance. It's not a favor. It's a responsibility. Denying treatment based on cultural or national disagreements reduces healthcare to a petty power play and strips it of its foundational purpose, healing. And for those wearing the white coat, there's a line etched in the core of the profession, the Hippocratic Oath. Not a suggestion, not a guideline, but a sworn obligation. Do no harm. Care for the sick. Show up regardless of race, identity, ideology. Any doctor choosing to ignore this oath in favor of political point scoring is no longer practicing medicine. They're practicing contempt. Even beyond that, anyone working in healthcare, doctors, nurses, techs, therapists, every single one should know that speaking about denying treatment to any group of people violates the very code they agreed to uphold. This isn't just about what you do with your hands. It's about what you do with your voice. You don't get to publicly speculate about withholding care and still expect to be trusted with it. TikToker Payback Time 2 made this statement, and it's not just provocative, it's dangerous. It encourages a mindset that undermines the very essence of medical ethics and community care. If you're in the medical field and you echo this sentiment, you're not just expressing an opinion, you're signaling that you're willing to abandon your duty when it's inconvenient. Let's talk about the irony. Black Americans built the foundation for civil rights in this country, including the legal and institutional access that allows African professionals to even step into medical roles here. The suggestion to deny them care spits on that history and erases the sacrifices that cleared the path. This isn't clapback culture. This is cruelty dressed up as commentary. You don't have to like the boycott, but if your response is to wish illness on people who've raised legitimate concerns about businesses, then you're not defending your community. You're disgracing it. Care is sacred. Anyone willing to corrupt it over internet arguments was never holding it sacred to begin with.
Honey, did you guys see the video? At this point, you guys should have seen the video of the nurse saying she was going to tell other African providers to not provide care for African Americans. And then there was the other nurse who was like the 59-year-old nurse who was screaming how much she hated us, okay? And I think they both have received some repercussions from those. But people are like, oh, they wouldn't risk their license. They were joking. Honey, I've worked in nursing homes. I've been in hospital settings, and I can tell you they're not joking. How they treat people is crazy. I have worked with non-Black Americans who have had proximity to care. And I've seen the care that they provide to the point where I used to tell families, come check on your family. Come check on your family, because the ones who they know families are not coming, they treat them the worst. I worked in a Alzheimer's and dementia facility where they were tying residents to the pole with sheets. Okay? The things they were doing, I called the state and I left and I said, this is illegal. You cannot treat people like this. How are you tying someone's loved one by their waist to a jerry chair and to a pole so that they cannot move? I have watched, what got me in the industry was because I had to put my father in a nursing home, and I watched the level of care. I watched his call bell be on and me come and him say, no one has come to take me to the bathroom, and them purposely treat my father a certain way because they had to care for him. I have watched how when I would leave town, and they knew like I had to leave town for a couple of days, I would always come back to they had did some bullshit to my father. Like, it's not a game. They're not joking, and they really do treat them like shit in the medical industry. So imagine caring for someone who ancestrally you hate. Okay? So like if they're treating white patients like this, and then the sprinkle of black people within these facilities as well, honey, they were not joking.
Keep it a buck, okay? I'm not trying to start a diaspora war, okay? It's not going to be welcomed here. I'm just saying, with that clip of that African nurse that said she does not want to treat patients, doesn't like Black American patients, I do not want to see any more medical professionals on this app sitting in front of a camera asking why the Black community doesn't trust them. Why doesn't the Black community trust medical professionals? Why don't we come in more often? I don't want to see none of that no more. Because at this point, you have enough schooling, you have enough education, you have enough sense to go on Google or research in the archives about the many times that there's been medical biasm, medical racism, the Black maternal death rate. There's been so many things that have happened to the Black community that makes us distrust a lot of medical professionals unless they're not our own. And even then, there's still cracks in that system. Okay? It's over. It's done.
Let's be honest, she broke the oath she took as a nurse. When you work in healthcare, you are supposed to care for everyone, no matter what. You can't be in someone else's country, working in their hospitals, then threaten to cut off treatment because of an online disagreement. That's not just unprofessional, it's dangerous, and she's now facing the consequences. The situation is a reminder you can't mix personal hate with public services. Lives are on the line. Thanks for watching. If you believe in speaking truth and calling things out, hit the like, subscribe, and drop your thoughts in the comments. I will see you in the next one. Bye.